Hi everybody, it's Helen from Panda Pop's Crafting Joyful Moments for another round of Simply Made Saturday. Today's card, you're going to need card base of 14.9 centimetres by 21 centimetres, scored at 10.5. You're also going to need a bunny panel where we stamp our bunnies on at 4 centimetres by 14.9 and a matte layer of coloured card 6 centimetres by 14.9 centimetres. Just to let you know, the stamp sets I'm using this week are the Product of the Month set, Notes of Spring from March 2026, and the Storybook Life set, which came out in 2025. Okay, let's put that to one side. I'm just going to quickly show you the stamp sets. So the two stamp sets are the Storybook Life one, and we're going to use Easter Blessings and Hip Hop Hooray. And I'm using the bunny stamp and the textured image from the Notes of Spring set. So this is the card we're going to make. I decided, as we're coming up to Easter, it's the end of March and Easter is next week, to make some cards for my colleagues at work to go with a little Easter gift that I'm giving them. And I just thought the stamp set Notes of Spring worked really, really well with some gorgeous colours. So the colours I'm using are Lemon Lolly, Highland Heather, Bubble Bath, Palmy Blue, and Timid Tiger. All right, so let's get started. Put that to one side. So I've pre-cut two strips of, what size did we say? 4 centimetres by 14.9 centimetres. And I've got my bunny and my stamp ready to go. Now, instead of using black, I'm actually using Secret Sea. Secret Sea is one of my favourite colours at the moment. And I think it's not as stark as if you were stamping in black. So I'm just stamping our bunnies along the side. I'm not making a very good job of this stamping it. The bunnies, spacing them out. I think I've actually not spaced them out enough. Okay, so let's do another one. Just ensure that I'm actually picking up. Right, so I'm just going to go slightly to the edge on that one. Much happier. Okay, so we can put that to one side. Actually, let's clean it off before we do anything else. It would be good. Because I realised I stamped with a stamp that I've not used for over a year this morning. And when I first stamped on it, it really wasn't good. I'll show you. So if you notice, the hip and the hooray had obviously picked up some colour from a previous stamping, and I hadn't cleaned my stamps, so don't do what I do. Please clean your stamps in between times. Do not leave them, and certainly not leave them sitting with ink on for a year like I did. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in our internal bunny layer. And we're going to put that on the block. I can close off my Secret Sea. And we're going to open our ink pads. So we've got our Timid Tiger first. Okay. There's no way of, if you decide to, which colour where you decide to go with first. As you can see with this one, I went with the yellow first, but I've gone with orange. I'm also doing first generation stamping with this one. I did second generation stamping of the ink. So let's go in with our balmy blue. I'm thinking blue. I'm just going to do it in the order that the ink pads are. Okay, there's our balmy blue. Let's go for our bubble bath. There's our bubble bath, which is really quite a nice soft pink. close that one off because I don't think I'm going to be needing those two. I'll go in with our Highland Heather, just lightly tapping. I think I'm actually going to make a Highland Heather, so I'm going to close the Timid Tiger. And our last one is our Lemon Lolly. So quickly cleaning off that stamp before we do that. Okay, and there we go. So there are our bunnies. Very quick, very easy to do. So I'm now going to bring in our matte layer. And I'm going to go with the Highland Heather. And all I'm going to do is matte this over the top. I'm going to use glue to do this. So I'm going to use glue to do the matte layer initially, and then we're going to use our dimensionals to pop up the layer on the next part of the card. Okay. So take your time with it, make sure that you have it straightened. I realise I've picked up a little bit of orange ink at that side. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Right, okay. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to bring in our card base. I'm going to fold it and use my bone folder to ensure it crisp lies down. And I'm going to stamp our sentiment before we add anything else. So the first one I'm going to use, just to ensure that I have cleaned it, is Easter Blessings, and I'm just going to pick up some ink. And I'm going to stamp it in the corner down here. Easter Blessings. Perfect. And I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to stamp the Hip Hop Hooray. So just tapping down. And trying to find the middle towards the top. There we go, Hip Hop Hooray. And it matches beautifully with that purple of our backing card. So the last thing we need to do, or maybe the second last thing, I've got one last thing I'm going to show you to do. So we're going to just quickly use our dimensionals to make this stick up from the card. Obviously, if you were mailing this and you were worried about postage costs, you might not want to use the dimensionals. These are going to be hand delivered in the office next week, so I don't need to worry about postage. Oh. But I don't know about you, it is certainly not spring weather at the moment. We've got more rain forecast today here in the United Kingdom, especially in the Cheshire area. Yeah, so it certainly does not feel like spring. So I'm just now going to put that on the front of my card, and that is it. But just add that little something extra. What you can do is, I'm going to just print our little purple bunny in shadow form, and it gives that little just a bit extra on the back of your card. All right, well, I hope you like that. That's the Timid Tiger one I did earlier. I have pre-cut and done my bunnies, so I've got my Lemon Lolly and my Balmy Blue, and also I've got some Bubble Bath as well. So I'll be continue making those today, ready to hand out next week at work. Hope you enjoyed that, everybody. Have a great rest of your Saturday. And as always remember, craft your joy and take care. Bye.